That Justin Cooper with a big hole shot. Aaron Plessinger sneaks around the inside. Haven't seen much of AP.
We haven't seen much of Aaron Plessinger this year. He took such a big step last year, getting his first Premier Class Supercross victory last year in San Diego. And I think for AP, I will say that there's a lot of hustle in his riding, right? Sometimes there's guys that kind of get in a bit of a rut, or the results aren't going the way they want it, and they can kind of quit, almost not quit on it, but just kind of lack that intensity. And AP is not one of those guys. He's trying his best and trying his best to race himself kind of out of this rut that he's in. And if he keeps getting starts like that, I think it's going to happen. He got a couple good starts last week in Detroit, and that's what helps a lot to kind of get you out of your slump, is to be up there with the fast guys in good position. Taking a look at Malcolm Stewart.
That sand section's collecting a lot of guys today. I think you just bring so much speed, and there's so much time to be made in that small section. You try to get everything you can out of it. It's also very easy to make mistakes. AP, little jump line, 3.33.
Look at how fast, how much speed he was able to carry jumping those whoops. Sometimes jumping the whoops can be a little bit slower because of how much slower you have to go into them in order to do that. But I think because of that V down the middle, because it's so low right now, guys are able to carry a lot of speed.
Yeah, AP, I love that he's out front early like this. You mentioned 1 week ago in Detroit, he did hole shot that main event, was out front early. You heard reports that he was sick, did not feel well, so still finished inside the top 10, but typically AP would stay in the top 5, even podiums, and he looks aggressive right now. It looks like he has a point to prove here in Arlington.
He does, and military appreciation, AP, AP wants to show out specifically for military appreciation, right? Always one of the most patriotic riders there is. Has been an integral part of Team USA over the last years, and crowd favorite as well. You see a rider down. Is that Benny Bloss down right there at the end of the finish line turn? Cooper Webb. I think here comes a fast one, Justin.
Here we go. He was actually lining up right behind Sexton. They went fast together. Webb goes to the top, 48.5. Sexton, 48.6. And Coop was right behind Sexton on that lap. So, and explain what can happen with that, AC.
Yeah, and typically when you're, whoever your rival is, right, whoever you're racing around, you do not want them to get behind you on a fast lap. You don't want to teach somebody else how to go your speed or what lines you're taking. As we see a rider down there in the bottom of our screen. But for Chase, sometimes maybe he just doesn't, maybe he's that confident, he just didn't care that Webb was behind him. Maybe he didn't know he was there. But a lot of the guys will have this awareness about them, right? Sometimes it's not worth the fast lap if you have your main competition right behind you. Like I said, you just don't want to teach them to do what you do. So I know for Chase, come over the finish line, see your name go to the top of the board, look behind you and see the number 2 of Cooper Webb right there, and then see him kind of displace your name on the board. That's not going to feel good. Looks like he's in the pits here making a couple changes.
Yeah, making a change to the rear of the motorcycle, that rear shock. Chase Sexton right there. It's cool that he came up to join us. That was awesome. That was a lot of fun. There's Benny Bloss on your screen. And remember, we will have the last chance qualifiers. If you're not in the top 18 in qualifying, the last chance qualifiers will be right here on Race Day Live. We're going to send it to the booth with Jason Wygant and Ricky Carmichael on the call. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch. There's Ken Roxon on screen right here. Kenny third right now, 48.6, right in the mix. And look, Kenny's one that's very outspoken about, just wants to feel comfortable in qualifying. Looks like he's pretty comfortable right now. He's on a good one, and typically doesn't care, just wants to feel good on the motorcycle, gel with the track. But also, this is for gate pick. Looks to me like it's awful important today to get a good gate pick for that first race.
Oh, it's very important. And what I've been saying all day about this track is throttle control, right? To be able to use the clutch to kind of modulate the power. As you see Kenny get to the far right side of those whoops where they're still big and he can skim them. But I think, let's see what he goes to the top. Does he go to the top here?
Nope. Fourth, 49.0.
And so we missed it, but Jason Anderson to the top of the 48.3. What a lap We see some yellow flags, some more guys down having problems in the sand. Is that, yep, that's Cooper Webb.
Another one down in the sand. That's going to be tricky. Remember, we talked about that intensity or consistency. You're going to want to bring a ton of intensity to these first races later on tonight, but that's what can happen.
And that tells me these guys are pushing. That tells me that Cooper Webb has been one in the past. He's been like Kenny. We talk about Ken, how he comes out here and he doesn't put a whole lot of stock into the fact. Oh my goodness.
Our first 47 of the day, and it's a 47.6. Justin Hill.
And wow, isn't it crazy how Justin Hill has the ability to just do that? He can be under the radar for 3 or 4 weeks, and then all of a sudden he can come out here, throw down a 47.6 on a completely different second than the best Supercross riders in the world. He does have that level of ability. We have a lot of guys out there like that have that so much speed just waiting to be unleashed.
Cooper Webb on a fast lap right here. He's going for it. He jumps into that sand again where he made a mistake 1 lap ago. And that sand, oh, there he goes. Double from the inside. That is nice. He shortens up the track.
Big brain moves right there, Justin. Those are the things right there that are going to win tonight's race. Moves, little unique lines, getting creative like that as the track breaks down. He gets held up just a little bit there, but kind of takes his time in that turn to go out and get that triple out of the corner. Let's see what he goes through. Let's see what he does here in the whoop section.
Yeah, he rails the turn right there. He's still skimming, but he's skimming kind of right down that main line, then gets to the left of it.
And he just skims
through the 3.53. Let's see what this time is right here. Cooper Webb, 48.8 that time was, so didn't better his 48.5. Actually got passed by Justin Cooper as well. So he's 5th overall. There he is looking up at the screen.
And Justin, as Ken Roxon goes to 2nd with a 48.2 as we watch Dylan Ferrandis on the screen. But just taking a look at the times right now, and I'm not sure anybody's going to get that 47.6 because the track is just continuing to go away. You see the line. We saw Dylan right there try to do the same line that Cooper Webb did the lap prior to kind of go inside, drift out, and double out of the sand. And you see that's already gone away. So I'm not sure if anybody's going to be able to touch that. And if they do, it's going to be awfully impressive this late in the game.
Well, you know Chase Sexton's going to try. He's going to absolutely go for it.
We need to find him.
48.4 right now. Shares that red plate with Cooper Webb. Dylan looks like he's on a decent one right now. Dylan is the 14 right there, the Phoenix Honda. 9th overall, jumps Savachi. He goes to 8th, and here we go. Chase Sexton on your screen right now. Looks like he's on a fast one.
Yeah, and you see he just manages the power perfectly in that turn. A lot of guys been losing the rear end, but he just kind of drifts the top of the turn, uses the traction, takes his time at the start of that, nails the triple. This looks like a good one, Justin.
And he mentioned how much time there is to be made in those rhythm lanes. There he loses the rear. He mentioned how tough the track was as well, and see tricky conditions. There he skims down the right side. That was a solid run.
If this doesn't beat it, I don't think it's going to be beat. Nope, still 4th. And I really think and just seeing as Justin Cooper getting closer and closer to that 47 range there, but 48.1. But for Chase, I think watching him ride, he's searching right now for some speed. And for him to go out there and put that decent of a lap together, he did have that little mistake in front of the mechanics area. I will say that. And he's going to have one last shot at it. But it definitely looks like he's searching for some speed. It's coming a little bit harder for him, the speed, than it has been in the last couple weeks. So we'll see if he can figure it out.
There's such a fine line to this track, right? The consistency is tough to get, especially when you're trying to go for a fast lap like Jason Anderson is on screen. He's in the top 5. He's 4th. He's solid right now, 48.3. It looks like he wants a little more.
He does, and I'm not sure. I need to get the segment times because I'm not sure if you can put down a really fast lap without hitting that triple out of the corner. But Jason Anderson, always one of the best guys in the whoops. See what he does here as Cooper Webb starts a fast lap.
Yeah, Coop wanted to start a fast lap, and Anderson was finishing.
He's mad. He's mad. He's big mad right now.
Yep, he is going for the 2. Watch this next turn. This isn't going to be good.
Nope, not at all.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
I think there's a little, Coop did not mean to do that, but also Coop had waited to try and get some free track. So I think when Anderson gets back and sees exactly what happened, he knows that Cooper Webb did not mean to do that. It was his last chance to go for a fast lap, and Cooper Webb's in 7th right now. He does not want 7th gate pick going to that race 1. Anderson was finishing one, Coop was trying to go on one. Honestly, just a racing incident there.
Yeah, it really is just a racing incident. These guys are playing, it's mental warfare out there, right? All bets are off, but I think Cooper Webb was banking on the fact that, well, Jason just got done with a fast lap. And if I had to guess, I do not believe that Jason is one to normally do 2 in a row. Obviously, I can't be too sure, but wow. I mean, let's talk about Justin Hill. Incredible, 47.6. He's just been lurking back there in that 5 to 10 range. Had a pretty good weekend last weekend, and wow, unbelievable performance here in 450 Group A.
Yeah, so cool to see. There you see Chase Sexton.